Hello once again, I'm Kevin Turner, and on behalf of Australian Property Investor Magazine, thank you for joining us on this special broadcast. I want to talk to you this time about foreign investors, and there's been a lot of stories in Australia about the impact of foreign buyers, but let's put the shoe on the other foot, as Nicola McDougall says in her article in the latest edition of Australian Property Investor Magazine. And Nicola, of course, the editor of Australian Property Investor, just back from a trip to Dubai where she attended the 2015 International Property Show. And while she was there, she caught up with Raine Horne Dubai principal Sanjay Chimnani. And Sanjay joins me. Hi, Sanjay. Thank you so much for joining us today, which I believe is even a bit of a holiday in Dubai for you.
Hi, Kevin. Yes, it is. Friday is equal to our Sunday back home, so yeah, it's the day off.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time out to join us. I believe that you would normally have been in your PJs about this time. Is that right?
That's about right.
Anyway, Sanjay, thank you very much for joining us. I'm very keen to talk to you about property in Dubai, and following up on the story that Nicola did in her article, of course. Tell me a little bit about Dubai. I understand that there are some very good high rental yields there. Why is that the case?
Well, about 85 to 88% of the population of Dubai is expats, and most expats come in here thinking that they're not going to be living here for very long, though that doesn't end up being the case. But most expats do come in on a 2-year contract, and they extend it by another 2 and a 2 every time, and that's why they don't really think. If they don't have a long-term plan for the city, they don't think they need to buy, and then they end up renting, and that's what's kept this market, the rental market, very robust here. Also, traditionally, up until 2003, there was no freehold, so people who've been living here prior to 2003 were kind of, the mindset was to rent, and that in the people who've lived in Dubai for many years continues to be the mindset.
Well, anyone who's been to Dubai recently will notice a huge amount of development happening there. Lots of cranes in the air, of course. How do the locals feel about foreign investment?
Oh, they welcome it. They've for more than 2 generations. The leadership has been very clear, and so have the people. In some ways, the feeling is we are here because of the expats and not the other way around. So expats are made to feel very welcome, made to feel very home. The local Emirati population is extremely friendly and extremely helpful, helping expats set up home, and they understand that if talent from around the world comes, it just makes their place better, makes their city better, puts them in the spotlight they are under now, and it's for the economic good of everybody.
So, what are the opportunities there for Australians wanting to buy into Dubai, and how hard is it?
Let me take the second part of the question first. It's pretty simple. The whole mechanics of how the business works is made very simple for foreigners to come in, or expats to come and buy, whether they're residents, non-residents, whichever be the case. It's not difficult at all. The opportunities are plenty. They're in all the segments, whether that be residential, whether that be commercial, retail, warehousing, staff accommodation. There are a few, pretty much all the categories that you can think of. A bulk of New Dubai is what is called under the freehold law. So all expats are residents, non-residents are free to buy any property category. Having said that, there is parts of the parts of Dubai which still fall under the leasehold law, which allows only Emiratis or people from the GCC nations to buy and then and rent. But if you've come to Dubai, you'll see that 80% of Dubai now falls under the New Dubai, or the freehold law applies pretty much in all the new parts of Dubai.
That leasehold that you're talking about there, is that something that you classify as one of the risks? And maybe you could expand on some of the other risks that we should be aware of.
No, well, it's simple. If the old businesses were and the old homes right up until let's say 2000 were all located in what is still leasehold area, which means that's an area where Emiratis or people of the GCC can buy and then rent out, lease out their places to anybody. Whereas as I mentioned before, or in the new part of Dubai, it's the freehold law applies. So there's no this it's very clear. There's no risk. So if you are renting, you have the choice of renting anywhere. If you're buying, you know exactly where you can buy. So I wouldn't really take that to be a risk. Um, I've asked this question of myself many times. I moved here in 2003 and then moved to Melbourne in 2009 and back again here. And on my move back from Melbourne this time, I did think I had a long time to think about it, almost a year, and I did about 21 trips between Melbourne and Dubai, and had a lot of time to talk to people and there is when that business started probably in 2003, there were a lot more risks because it was a brand new market. There weren't any significant regulations in place. It was the whole atmosphere was to get ease of was ease of business. But post the GFC, which did hit this part of the world much harder than the other parts of the world, and purely because of lack of regulation, there's been a significant investment by the state in regulation.
Sanjay, just in closing, can I ask you about the geopolitical situation in that region? Is that something we should be concerned about?
Uh, I my personal view on this is that this has been traditionally a safe haven in sorts for the entire region, for Middle East and North Africa. There's a lot of comfort for people from the region and outside the region, and the subcontinent is heavily invested here. China is increasing its investments. So people from the CIS bloc, there is a lot of investment coming in from Europe, and that's because people who've come here, lived here, done business, clearly see that there is no geopolitical risk, so to speak. The rules are fair and clear. There's a lot of transparency. The city state is always competing with itself to create an environment of trust. Now, while we could be surrounded in the region by places that may have strife, that's never impacted UAE in any manner whatsoever historically. So it's in some ways a little like Switzerland was in Europe in the 20th century. There's the strife just brings more confidence into this city. Strife in the region brings more confidence into this city than the other way around.
Sanjay, just in closing, you're a part, as I mentioned at the start of the interview, a part of the Raine Horne group, which is very well known in Australia and now broadly known around the world. Anyone interested in looking at property in Dubai, could they come directly to you, or should they do it through their own local Raine Horne office?
No, they could do either. They could call a local Raine Horne office anywhere in Australia, and they would get in touch with us. Alternatively, our coordinates are available on the website, and anybody who's looking to invest in this part of the world could directly give us a call. We have two members of our team are from the Raine Horne network in Australia, so pretty well versed with what folks from back home would need to ask. So that's.
I guess that's one of the comforts that anyone looking at investing in Dubai would have, is that it's a familiar name, Raine Horne, and they would feel comfortable with that. Sanjay, I want to thank you for your time today. Congratulations on what you're doing there, and it's been wonderful to connect with you. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.